Hello everyone, and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video, we're going to be going through all of the new artifacts we're going to be having in Season 7 Crown of Ashes, because as you guys know, artifacts are a really important part of this game. So, we're going to be having Swiftheal Spell, which I believe we did have this artifact actually in the past as well. It is going to be basically the standard healing artifact of this season, nothing really special. It has attack, health, and vitality, which is an overall good stat distribution. And basically, it will cast a healing wave that will heal the weakest ally, and it will trigger every 10 seconds, but starting at 6 seconds. And then the healing wave will also bounce to the next weakest ally, healing them for a reduced amount. And the healing wave will be able to bounce up to 2 times. Basically, I think in total, 3 of your weakest allies are going to be healed by this effect. And it will be up to 50% of the team attack in terms of healing, which seems to be a pretty decent amount. Now, the only important thing is that plus 30, that is the only time we get a new effect added, and that will be up to 3 bounces, so healing basically 4 of your weakest allies, and then reducing the healing reduction per bounce, because basically each bounce is less healing given to the next ally which is hit with it. Okay, so not really much interesting here. Moving on to the next one, we have Sunlance Spell, which is probably, like, as you guys can see, my viewer on the VN server, they're on day 3. This is the only other artifact they currently have, and so for Dream Realm, probably it is going to be this artifact early on. It gives attack, it gives defenses, it gives health. Whenever an ally casts an ultimate, it conjures 1 light spear. After conjuring 3 light spears, launches them from 3 directions along the lines that cover the most enemies. Each light spear deals true damage equal to 60% of the team's attack to all enemies hit, and reduces their damage dealt by 20% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. Each light spear also stuns the first enemy hit. This also seems to be a AFK stage artifact, because it has true damage, like, you know, the Blazeburn spell we had. Now, it doesn't reduce vitality or anything, but it does have true damage, proportionate to the team attack, which is, like, that is a key, basically, requirement for an AFK stage artifact. So this is probably that. It also has a stun on the first enemy hit, and causing them to deal less damage, which is all good utility. And plus 30, after the skill has been cast 3 times, each light spear also returns once, but its damage is reduced to 40%. Basically, I mean, they go out, and then they're gonna also be drawn back and basically hit the enemies twice, but with reduced damage. Yeah, this is a very strong, I think, for our AFK stages, and also early on in Dream Realm, you're probably going to run it rather than just the healing. But yeah, not the ideal, really, probably for Dream Realm. Okay, we have the Breakthrough Spell. I've never heard of this before. Attack, HP, and haste, all good stat distribution and offensive. Now, 3 seconds into battle inspires allies every 12 seconds. For 6 seconds, inspired allies increase their attack by 14% and physical and magical defense by 30% and recover 20 energy every second. This is very similar to the Mana Wake spell we currently have. Attack boost, it has a defensive boost, and then it has the energy gain. Every second, but very minor energy gains. So this could have some angle for Dream Realm, definitely. And as you guys can see here, it goes up to 24% attack. And at plus 30, when casting the skill, also increase allies' haste by 20. So more offensive value, and haste is a good offensive stat, even potentially for Dream Realm. So this could be a not bad artifact for Dream Realm, but probably also not the top tier. But, like, depending on when we unlock it, it may be used for some time. Okay, we have the Snare Spell. Okay, that looks like a crowd control. Attack, defenses, and then defense penetration. 3 seconds into a battle, releases vines at the frontmost enemy every 10 seconds. The vines entangle the target, making them unable to move or act for 2 seconds, but only the frontmost. After that, the vines spread through the nearest 2 other enemies, entangling them for 2 seconds. This is really valid for crowd control. Crowd controlling the first frontline enemy. I believe, yeah, and then after that, the 2 nearest enemies are going to be entangled, and during entanglement, the vines deal total magical damage equal to 40% of team attack every second, but this is not true damage, right? So, unlike what we have for the Sunlance for AFK stages, even though this also lends itself to AFK stages with a crowd control element, the damage is probably not going to be anywhere near, because it doesn't have true damage, it just has regular damage, which is not going to be nearly as high. Okay, so increasing damage multiplier, and then plus 30. When entangling enemies, the vines also absorb their health and shield value equal to 30% of team attack every second, while reducing their that is now strong. I think this is more of a PvP one. When entangling, the vines also absorb their health and shield value equal to 30% of team attack every second, and also reducing their vitality. And vitality debuff is very good for PvP, especially to counter healer or stall oriented enemy teams. So I think, yeah, plus 30 PvP, and even before that potentially. But in terms of raw damage output, Sunlance seems to be better for AFK stages. Okay, next we have the Vanguard Spell. This has health, this has defenses, this has range defense, so very tanky oriented. Deploys a protective ward on the allied side, increasing the attack of the allies within by 20%. Okay, wow, pretty nice buff, and making them steadfast as well. The ward starts with health equal to 100% of the allied team's initial health, which is going to be massive. Like, summing up the health pool of all of your allies, basically that is going to be the number of health the ward has, and takes 70% damage for allies inside it. It's like a Callan. It cannot be healed, and this is crazy, guys. For PvP, it cannot be healed and loses 5% health every second. This is literally a Callan as an artifact, but like taking 70% damage to allies inside, huge health pool, 100% of all allied initial health added together, and then you increase the attack by 20% and making them steadfast, which is immune to like these movement related crowd control. This is really strong. For PvP, this is insane. Unfortunately, no attack on the stat distribution, but still, defenses is also going to be good. While the ward exists, restores 15 energy every second to allies within, and reduces 15 energy from enemies outside. Okay, so it somehow causes enemies to reduce their energy recovery, and also within, you're going to be increasing your energy recovery slightly. It is low, however, that is an added effect. This is a very good one for PvP. I think this is probably going to be the best one I've seen so far. Okay, Surging Spell. We have had the Surging Spell in a previous season as well, if you guys remember it. This one gives HP, defenses, and haste. Okay, 3 seconds into a battle, selects a 3-tile wide line that covers the most allies and enemies every 8 seconds, firing a light beam towards the enemy side of the battlefield. The beam deals magic damage equal to 60% of team attack, but not true damage to all enemies within, and grants a shield to 50% of team attack to allies within, so granting a shield and dealing damage. Okay, so these are just going to increase the multipliers of the shield and the beam damage. Now, plus 30. Every time this skill is cast, increasing the shield value by an extra 30% of team attack. If the total HP lost by all affected allies since the last cast exceeds 20% of the team's total initial maximum health. Basically, your subsequent casts of the skills are going to increase the shield value by 30% if your health loss has been high enough, right? So this may be PvP. I mean, it seems okay, but I just don't think... I don't know, like, I mean, the shield is really the interesting part, right? And 3 seconds in the battle, and then every 8 seconds subsequently, and then giving that shield. So, like, if you want your team to be shielded up, then this is probably the artifact to give. But, yeah, that is what I would say. Okay, Arc Burst Spell. This is going to be HP, physical and magical defense, and attack. Okay, so good stat distribution. Health and attack, always nice. So, 3 seconds into a battle, it summons an energy orb every 12 seconds. From each surviving ally to attack their nearest enemy. So an energy orb is gonna pop up from each surviving ally. So they're all gonna have like these orbs attached to them, just like, you know, the blooms, the buds from Sleece's skills, right? Deals magic damage equal to 100% of the allies' attack, and reduces the target's haste by 8 and physical and magic defense by 8%, stacking up to 4 times. So the stacking is interesting. So you can potentially haste debuff them up to 32, and also defense shred them up to 32%, and dealing damage. I mean, this is definitely, I find this very interesting. Like, a big haste debuff actually from this skill is strong, right? Now, the thing is, though, this is, to stack it up is going to take a while. You're going to start the battle, like, you know, 3 seconds in the battle. Okay, they get haste debuff by 8. Now, to stack it up, you need to wait another 12 seconds. If you're talking about PvP, that's really too long to wait, honestly. And, like, maybe the match does go 15 seconds and you get 2 triggers off, but you're probably not going to get more than that. This is probably more catered to a stall team in PvP or something. It does seem to be a PvP artifact. It doesn't have like the damage for Dream Realm or even AFK stages. Energy orbs deal extra true damage. Oh, true damage equal to, this is the plus 30 effect though, which is going to be only in phase 3. Deal extra true damage equal to 40% of the corresponding ally's attack, and restore health to that ally equal to 40% of the actual damage dealt. Okay, so 40% multiplier, attack multiplier of that ally's attack, and restore health to that ally. Now, this is a big effect. Potentially could even give it an AFK stage angle, even though I think this is too long to wait, 12 seconds between like interval. However, this is only at the plus 30, which is going to be very later on. So probably going to be PvP, but this is a powerful plus 30 upgrade, probably one of the biggest jumps we've seen. Okay, now this is the artifact people are using on the Pioneer server for Dream Realm. This one may be the overall best Dream Realm artifact of the season, at least maybe for pre-endless. So this is attack, health, and defense penetration, good stat distribution. Attack and health are great, and defense penetration for boosting your damage is also good. So, designates the frontmost ally as the Vanguard. When a battle starts, adopts a tactic based on the Vanguard's damage type, increasing all allies' physical and magical damage by 20%. So in addition, when allies deal the corresponding type of damage, heals them for health equal to 30% of the damage dealt. The Vanguard is healed for an extra amount equal to 20% of the damage dealt. Now, they adopt a tactic based on the Vanguard's damage type. So, for example, if it's Gunner, is Gunner a magic damage dealer? So, like, if you're gonna want to get Gwyneth, like, you know, you'll want to boost the physical damage of Gwyneth. So, I guess the frontmost ally will have to be a physical damage dealer to basically have that synergy. And it also comes with healing. So, I could even see it for PvP, but definitely for Dream Realm, increasing damage dealt by 20% damage amp basically is very strong. But this is probably, again, pre-endless because it's physical and magical damage. This is not HP loss damage. It's not, like, it's only boosting physical and magic damage, right? It's not boosting the true damage or HP loss damage. Plus 30, which probably you won't even need to worry about because this is probably a pre-endless artifact. The Vanguard gains an extra 20% basic stats. Wow. After dealing total damage equal to 500% of the caster's initial attack. Permanently increase all allies' attack by 10% of the Vanguard's attack, up to 15% of the caster's initial attack. Now, this is also going to be strong, right, guys? Like, this is really for PvP. I'm seeing it. Like, because in PvP, physical and magical damage is good. Like, you don't need true damage, and you don't care about HP loss damage for PvP. So definitely, like, if you're running Gwyneth in PvP, Vanguard Spell, and you have a frontmost Vanguard who deals physical damage as well. So every 12 seconds during battle, records the healing received by allies over the previous 12 seconds. But this is, you have to wait 12 seconds into battle, including excess healing, and summons a Soul Storm. The Soul Storm causes all enemies to lose health equal to 30% of team attack. Plus, okay, so lose health, so that's health, HP loss damage, so Dream Realm, or Endless Dream Realm, or even Primal Lord potentially, plus 4% of the recorded healing amount over 3 seconds. I think this is Endless Dream Realm and Primal Lord, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Or maybe in stall comps with massive healing, you may want to run this in PvP as well for those stall comps. The total HP loss cannot exceed 60% of team attack. Each Soul Storm summon permanently increases allies' healing received by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. Yeah, I can see this for PvP, in a staller, healer-oriented comp. And you're going to increase the multipliers here. Now, each Soulstorm summon also permanently reduces enemies' haste by 10 and vitality by 20. Vitality is always a nice debuff for PvP. For Dream Realm, this doesn't matter. And it will stack up to 3 times if the fight goes long enough. So, yeah, in a stall-out healer comp PvP, this is probably one artifact to consider. And maybe you could even stack it up to 3 times if you can survive like 45 or 36 seconds into the battle. Okay, we have the Frontline Spell. We have attack, HP, life drain. Now, this is also very similar to an artifact we've had in the past, maybe exactly the same. This one, usually these are more melee oriented, especially when they have life drain in the stat line. Life drain is not a really good stat choice overall. Attack and HP are good though. Commands allies to charge when a battle starts, increasing the movement speed by 100%. So like Perseus, melee hypercarry comps, yeah, and haste by 20 for 10 seconds. When it's basically the Zandrok buff. It's basically giving a Zandrok buff. So imagine Zandrok buff on top of Frontline Spell, how fast these heroes are going to be moving. When an allied hero enters the enemy side of the battlefield, which you will do generally with a melee lineup, for the first time, grant them a permanent shield equal to 100% of team attack. That's massive. Now, the problem is, like we mentioned before, shields are very weak in AFK Journey because true damage, HP loss damage cut right through it. They just completely ignore the shield entirely. So, unfortunately, shield is not nearly as effective as health. And if you're up against a true damage comp, which a lot of damage sources now, even for PvP, have true damage, they don't care if you have a shield or not. That is the only unfortunate thing. But this is going to be a massive shield. 100% of team attack, like, that is big. Like, you have all 5 different heroes on your team. When 3 different allied heroes have entered the enemy side of the battlefield, places a banner of inspiration there. So definitely a full-out melee comp for PvP. The banner increases the damage of all allies by 18% and reduces their damage taken by 20% while they're on the enemy side. However, this could also be for Dream Realm, because, if you have enough heroes, enough melee heroes entering the enemy side of the battlefield, which you can easily do in a boss fight, then you're going to get these bonuses of increasing damage dealt by 18%. Which might be good enough for Dreamer, although probably not, honestly, because we have some other good Dreamer artifacts we've already talked about. Yeah. Okay, and at the plus 30, these other ones just increase the damage buff from the banner up to 28% to max it out. Now, plus 30, after an ally enters the enemy side of the battlefield for the first time, they also become unaffected. Now, this is really good for PvP, because unaffected is such a powerful stat. Unfortunately, it isn't from the beginning of the battle. It's only when you enter the enemy side of the battle. That is the unfortunate part. But if you're able to do that, this unaffected could win you the game. And allies on the enemy side gain life drain. So yeah, this is all about melee heroes, Perseus, or bring back the Lenya, or things like that. Or obviously, even like, we have Sylphira coming, who is a rogue as well. Athalia, even heroes like these technically can also work and take advantage of an artifact like that. Okay, so we have the Magicsurge Spell. This is going to be attack, HP, and range defense. Interesting stat line having range defense along with these other stats. So at 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and 50 seconds in a battle, cast a corresponding spell. Deals physical damage equal to whatever to all enemies. Okay, so it's not true damage. Permanently reduce the vitality by 30. So vitality debuff is always welcome for PvP content, but for other content like AFK stage Dream Realm, it's not really going to be important enough. Then at 30 seconds, deal magical damage equal to 150% of the team attack to all enemies, and permanently reduce the energy recovery efficiency by 20%. I mean, these things are way too slow. Like 30 seconds in the battle in PvP, the match is already over. Like I don't like this artifact already. And then if you can make it to 50 seconds, deal true damage equal to 180% of the team attack, or whatever is left of your team, because the team attack scales on the living team who is alive. Attack, not on whoever has passed away. You do not count that in the scaling. To all enemies, and permanently increase their attack by 25%. But like, getting a 25% attack buff after 50 seconds into the battle have passed, only 40 seconds left. I mean, I don't think that's enough. No, that's not enough for Dream Realm, so I don't know what you're going to be planning with this. For AFK stages, I mean, I could kind of see a vitality debuff maybe for some stages is useful, but like, again, you have to wait until 50 seconds to get your full effect, and it's only a one-time trigger of this true damage, so I don't really think it. And then, okay, plus 30. Unlock further enhances the third spell, grants all allies a permanent shield equal to 200%. I mean, who is gonna be left alive 50 seconds into a battle? If it's PvP, the match is over, right? 200% of team attack, and causes all enemies to take true damage equal to 20% of team attack every second. Oh! Okay, so there's an AFK stage angle, because after your third cast for 50 seconds in the match, when there are 40 seconds left, in an AFK stage, high deficit can go the full 90 seconds. You're gonna have 40 seconds of ticking damage, 20% of team attack, true damage every second. So in total, over the whole 40 seconds, 40 times 20%, that is 800% of team attack being dealt as true damage. Yeah, I can maybe see it, but until plus 30, I don't know. And yeah, this is a really weird artifact. Okay, guys, final one. Valorshield Spell. Attack HP always welcome and good, but attack speed is usually not the preferred stat. However, it can also work. So when a battle starts, grants a shield equal to 100% of team attack to both the frontmost and the rearmost allied heroes. Okay, lasting up to 12 seconds. So you're getting value for both front and rear. That's good. 12 seconds. It is a shield, so it's bypassable by true damage. That is obviously one issue in consideration. However, it's okay. Now, while the shield is active, the shielded allies remain unaffected. Okay, now we like it. Unaffected right from beginning of battle, front and rearmost, and then also a shield. Now I'm liking this. Additionally, the frontmost ally gains 75% physical defense and magical defense, making them much tankier, while the rearmost ally gains 60 haste, which is big. For a for a damage dealer carry in PvP, 60 haste is big. But this is definitely going to be a more PvP geared artifact. There's no question about it. This doesn't have the AFK stage true damage angle, and it doesn't have, and it's only really 12 seconds beginning of the match. That's all catered towards PvP and like having a nuker in the back, whether it be free run, whether it be something else. Yeah, Grinnet. Okay, and then plus 30. After these two allies assist or defeat a non-summon enemy for the first time, they gain extra shield value equal to 70% of team attack. Okay, and the shield duration is extended 6 seconds. So if you are able to get a kill or assist, you're going to have actually 18 seconds total of unaffected, which is huge. It already begins with 12 seconds, and then also some more bonus shielding. So I really like this artifact for PvP, definitely. So guys, that is going to be the rundown of the artifacts. There are some interesting ones here. Just to recap it, Sunlance Spell for AFK stages with the true damage. Breakthrough Spell is very reminiscent of the Mana Wake spell we currently have, which could have some Dream Realm usage, definitely, with these attack bonuses. Snare mainly has crowd control, but it also deals some damage and vitality debuff. I don't really think it will be good enough for AFK stages. Most likely it's probably PvP. Wingard is going to be very good for PvP. This is insane. It's basically Kalin as an artifact, as well as giving attack buffs, so that's even crazy. You have Surging Spell, which is mainly shielding for your team, which honestly I'm not that excited about. I don't think is going to be that useful. So Arc Burst Spell is very weird, and I do think that this duration, 12 seconds to wait in between casts, is a bit too long. It has some interesting debuffs, but to stack them up, it's not really realistic in PvP. And then also it has true damage eventually, but like at a 12-second interval, it's just not enough even for AFK stages in my opinion. Vanguard looks to be one of the best pre-endless Dream Realm artifacts because it increases your damage type, physical or magical, by 20%, but of course this does not apply to HP loss or anything like that, or true damage. And eventually you're even gonna get some more bonus attack at the plus 30, although probably because it's pre-endless we're not gonna see that plus 30. Windcall seems to be for a stroller PvP healer team. Potentially you can get the full value out of it, and it actually does have lose health damage, and so it could also be for endless Dream Realm artifact, just to deal artifact based HP loss damage, or it could even be primal lore type artifact. Frontline Spell is for melee heroes, and you get some damage boosting, and when you have and even unaffected eventually at the plus 30 artifact upgrade. Overall, I mean, this is for melee heroes for PvP mainly. There could be some Dream Realm usage, but usually very rarely with this artifact compared to the others. Magicsurge Spell is just way too slow. 10, 30, and 50 seconds in the battle. I mean, everyone is done with the battle by 50 seconds when you're talking about PvP, and that is really the main angle I see for this artifact. Although at plus 30 it could have an AFK stage angle, because then after the final cast, which is after 50 seconds into the battle, then those final 40 seconds you're going to be ticking 20% of team attack true damage every second on all enemies. So yeah, I think for AFK stages plus 30, but before plus 30 it doesn't have that effect, right? And so I think it's just a plus 30 artifact for potentially AFK stages. And then Valorshield Spell looks to be a very good hyper carry focused PvP artifact to buff up your rearmost with unaffected and haste buff. Very good, and I think that this is going to see a lot of PvP uses. So guys, that is basically it. When we take a look at when I'm basically the timeline of these artifacts, you can sometimes see that in the milestones here. You can see just briefly, I'll go through it here. I'm not going to like basically go in any more detail because we've already talked a lot. And you guys can pause it and you can see exactly the order. Well, this one unlocks very late, Vanguard Echo, unfortunately. So like that is going to be kind of an issue because we wanted to use it for pre-endless Dream Realm, but we may get it unlocked before the end of phase 1, and that's probably when you're going to need it the most. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about these artifacts, what you're hyped up for, what your plans are, and maybe anything else that I didn't mention. Feel free to let me know in the comments. So thank you guys all so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then everyone, peace out for now.